Yes. Yes, they do. But what effect does that have on us? It means that your reality is different than a non-experiencer's. Because, like Deb said, they can't express it because they got no reference point. An experiencer can explain it if they're a lifelong experiencer. They can express it pretty well. They've got a grip on it. For them, the veil's been lifted. They see the truth. So your contact can be face-to-face. And if it's face-to-face, then you're looking at about 5 or 6 different extraterrestrial races that will do that with you. I'm going to tell you my personal experience and my research. The easiest and the most loving extraterrestrial contact comes from an entity that hardly ever seems or looks physical. They seem more energetic, and they have this ability to move like water through space, flow. And it's a loving experience, and this is the difference. When you find yourself in contact with one of these entities, they're going to, one, call you by name. They're going to ask permission for this encounter. You have to give permission. Once you give permission, they'll take it further. You know what? They asked me, after calling me by name, and I'm not the only one, this is what our research shows, if I were afraid. I said, I'm not afraid. Been waiting for you all my life. And I meant that. I can't believe those words came out of my mouth. I couldn't believe they came out then. But they did. And I believed I was. Can we have some more air conditioning? I'm hot.
Yes, you are.
You need more flow.
Sit up there and flow.
Is it warm in here? Okay.
Yes,
Maybe I just was hot. Right?
You made her blush. When I was up there, it was hot. Yeah, it was hot.
It is hot. They raised up the temperature.
Yes, they did. Because the door is closed too, we'll have a better airflow if the door is open. So most of the communication that you're going to receive is telepathic. So what is telepathic communication?
Communication without words.
That's right.
Or
Yes.
images or whatever.
Images and emotions.
Yeah.
So I remember as a young girl, just knowing when to reach out my hand, because my grandma would be handing me something. And lots of times I'd be like, oh, how did I know she was going to do that? She'd be like, oh, you're a weird kid. But you start to work with somebody and you anticipate, and I think that was basically the way it was. But as I've gotten older, I'm beginning to realize that the people that you really love, the people that you feel very deeply connected to, it's very easy to send telepathic messages to. It's very easy to send messages. Not all people can receive so well, because in order to receive, we have to turn down the chatter. We have to have that ability to be calm and to allow all of the energy in our own bodies to flow evenly, our own electromagnetic energy, without blocks. The body holds memory on a cellular level. When I work with rape victims, I see that as we go through a session, their body begins to ache in certain areas, maybe their shoulders or wherever they're being hurt, and their head gets pushed down, and they'll feel this pain. I don't think that's me.
No. No.
So the body holds memory, and we see this during lots of different. It's not me? Okay. So the body holds emotion. So if we can calm the body, calm the mind, telepathic communication becomes so much more simple and easier, because there's not so much to go around. It's a smoother flow. But there are 5 general contact experiences that my research shows, okay? The first one being abduction. Of course, we all know that's taken against one's will. Then the channel. We know what a channel is, a psychic who receives information from an extraterrestrial. They are simply a conduit. They are not coming up with this information. They're simply expressing it from what they say is an extraterrestrial. I've told people before, but one of the biggest channels is H.E.R.E, and he actually has some very good information. Out of all the channelers, and I'm a big channeler fan, out of all the channels, he seems to say things that to me sound like they come from an extraterrestrial. The third type of experiencer is an earth helper. I'm going to get into it a little bit more, but this is the one that they'll only get 3 to 5 experiences over a lifetime. And they'll be feeling like they're either in front of like a wraparound screen, and they'll get images, flash images of earth changes. These are the extraterrestrials. They say the message is overpopulation, famine, a natural and unnatural destruction, and these are the things that are happening. And that's all they ever get. They never ever see an extraterrestrial. What they do all have in common are 2 things. First thing is they all have seen a UFO. Shortly thereafter, they have between 3 and 5 of these experiences, and the experiences all are a message of urgency. And now I gotta ask myself about those, These extraterrestrials are coming in through someone to give them this message because they know we're gonna make this mistake because they made that mistake. Maybe. But it seems an awful long way to go to send that message. And if they did blow up their planet, clearly they survived if they could tell us. So something is missing in that aspect. But the research only shows the 2 commonalities so far. The fourth is a mission or agenda type of experiencer. And this is the one who feels they actually work on a craft. They work with particular extraterrestrials. They always seem very tall. And they have duties, they have a job, they gotta go on a craft and they report. The information comes from orange orbs. The orange orbs are often associated with consciousness monitoring. You will see an orange orb, or if somebody were to go outside, maybe film here, if we were to see anything, it could possibly be the orange orb, because they are said to monitor the consciousness of humanity. So if we're speaking in terms of that, they're listening. So you see these orange orbs, they're about this big, they look about this big, and they'll come down as low as a telephone pole. They also hide in chemtrails and clouds. The last one is a natural telepath. And this is a person who makes contact on their own terms, okay? They can bypass whatever extraterrestrials, but they want to bypass the gray alignment, which consists of mantis and tall grays, blues, and reptoids. You can bypass all of that and move to the deeper spaces, more altruistic ones. But all roads do lead to consciousness. One of the interesting commonalities is both contactees and abductees are implanted. So there's a variety of different implants. Worst thing about the implants is that some of them have a radio, an RDI chip in them. Whenever those chips carry a frequency, it's completely programmable from a distance. You can program an RDI chip with tons of stuff. It's not just a tracking device. No way. There's no way that they would need that type. We've got measurable emissions that actually come off of these implants.
I mean, you have this data?
Huh?
You have this data for real?
We have this data for real.
Wow.
We have the actual measurements too. So of course some implants contain both organic and inorganic. But remember, a true awakening does happen on a cellular level. everything starts to communicate with each other in the body. The awakening process is actually beautiful. The implants, though, not so much. We see them everywhere. Right now, a lot behind the ear, side of the foot right here. They're found all over the body, including both the teeth and in the head. Problem is removing these. They retract when they were to be operated on. You open them up, they're like, no, and they go away. In the Sacramento Alien Abduction group, I have an older member I talk to on the phone. He doesn't make the meetings anymore. Quitting on an age. He's given me his CAT scans from UC Davis, and he believes he has an implant in the pineal gland. He is in his 80s now, and his wife had the exact same implant in her pineal gland, so they were divorced. They couldn't even be in the same room because they gave each other quite literally a headache from the frequency. They literally gave each other a headache. He believes, this is his speculation, that it was to prevent them from procreating. So he was a pre-med student. He is no dummy. He was very clever, and he divorced her. He had no choice. But he has provided me with his MRIs, and he has given me permission to film his body. He has 2 other implants, one that was behind the knee, where the knee bends, and one that where the leg bends closer to the groin. The 2 of these are moving right now. They're mid-thigh, about 3 or 4 inches away from each other. He thinks that when they touch, that's it, he'll die. We hear that a lot. He has asked me and given me permission to film his body post-mortem to see if the implants are there, and I've agreed to do that. Now, I've pressed hard on them, and I get like a small triangular shape on my thumb when I do that, closer to the one in the bottom right-hand corner. I get a shape similar to that when I press on his leg. And when I press on it and then lift my finger, it would go back several centimeters away as if it were retracting from me. So this is a commonality that both abductees and contactees have. We're chipping them. But a little bit about the extraterrestrial abduction phenomena.